I texted Oliver the day before he passed and asked how quitting smoking was going for him, as he promised he would give it up once he was on tour. He FaceTimed me immediately and let out a huge puff of cigarette smoke in my face. Oliver has left us an enormous task to set up his endowment, Dr. Oliver Tree's extremely epic art grant for baby geniuses. And a museum. I look forward to hearing the stories of how Oliver's grant helped launch the careers of emerging artists.
Before the world knew him as the eccentric alien with a bowl cut and oversized pants, he was a 17-year-old walking away from something far darker. Standing in front of thousands at his son's own memorial, Oliver Tree's mother finally told that story out loud, and it changed how an entire audience understood the man they'd come to celebrate. Oliver Tree, the alt-pop singer, songwriter, and performance artist behind Life Goes On and Miss You, died at the age of 32 on June 14th, after two helicopters collided in mid-air over Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, killing all 6 people on board. Investigators later pointed to possible human error, and one of the helicopters came down in a car dealership parking lot, sparking a fire that damaged more than 20 vehicles before it was extinguished. His celebration of life was held Saturday, July 25th, at the Quarry Amphitheater in Santa Cruz, California, the very city where he was born and raised. It was there that his mother, Christine Begin Nickell, walked on stage and delivered one of the most emotional and revealing tributes of the entire ceremony. She opened by explaining the meaning behind his grounded, ordinary-sounding name, saying she wanted to give him roots, but that from the very beginning he only ever wanted to soar. She described him as a sweet, mischievous child, a self-proclaimed bolter who always wanted to run, explore, and never look back, even recalling how he used to wake before sunrise as a little boy just to sing quietly in the hallway outside his family's bedrooms, long before anyone in the world knew his name. But then came the part of her speech that stunned so many in the crowd. Nickell revealed that at 17 years old, Oliver walked away from drugs and walked toward music instead, a love that had actually been with him since childhood, but only became a serious, driving pursuit once he made that choice. She explained that once he found music, he built an entire persona around it, an entire world, and immersed himself in it completely, effectively channeling that same restless, bolting energy from his childhood into the career the world would eventually come to know him for. It was a rare, unguarded moment from a mother choosing to share the hardest chapter of her son's story publicly, rather than let his legacy be remembered only through the polished, larger-than-life character fans had grown to love. She also shared the story of their final conversation, just one day before the crash that took his life. She said she texted him asking how quitting smoking was going, since he'd promised to give it up once he was on tour. He FaceTimed her back almost immediately and blew a huge puff of cigarette smoke directly into the camera, laughing the entire time. Despite that little rebellion, she said he was so happy and excited about life that day. He told her he was planning to take a helicopter ride to a house on a mountaintop the very next morning, just to make music and TikToks with friends. She recalled him saying he loved having epic days, each one more memorable than the last, a phrase that now carries an almost unbearable weight given what happened only hours later. The ceremony itself matched the strange, joyful chaos Oliver built his entire career around. In front of the stage sat 3 mannequins dressed exactly like him, bright windbreakers, sunglasses, cowboy hats, and his signature bowl-cut wigs, laid out inside individual coffins as part of the tribute, a fittingly absurd send-off for an artist who never once did anything the ordinary way. Logan Paul and Diplo were among the other speakers who took the stage that day, joining thousands of fans who tuned in through the official livestream to say goodbye alongside his family. The event stretched on for 3 hours, mixing live musical performances, unreleased footage, and tribute videos, giving fans across the globe a way to grieve together even though most of them were watching from thousands of miles away. What makes his mother's speech so powerful isn't just the sadness of it, it's the full picture it finally gave fans of who Oliver Tree really was underneath the persona. He wasn't just a viral internet character born out of nowhere. He was a teenager who made a deliberate, difficult choice to turn his life around, who found in music the same freedom he'd always been chasing since he was a small child singing alone in a hallway. Every strange character, every alter ego, every wildly chaotic performance he ever gave was, in some way, an extension of that 17-year-old kid who decided who he wanted to become. It's a reminder that so many of the artists who seem larger than life on stage carry entire histories most fans never get to see. For Oliver, that history included a genuine turning point most 17-year-olds never have to face, and the fact that he spent the rest of his life building something joyful and free out of that decision says everything about who he really was. Oliver Tree leaves behind his parents, a fan base spread across every continent he toured before his passing, and now, thanks to his mother's words, a fuller understanding of the darkest chapter he ever overcame. He spent the rest of his life trying to make every day an epic one. Based on everything shared at his memorial, it's clear he genuinely succeeded, right up until his very last morning.